What if registering to vote required more paperwork than ever before? A new federal proposal known as the SAVE Act could significantly change how Americans register to vote in federal elections. Supporters say it strengthens election integrity. Critics argue it could make voting harder for millions of eligible citizens. So what exactly is in the SAVE Act? Who could be most affected? And how might this shape the 2026 midterm elections? Let's break it down. The SAVE Act would require documentary proof of U.S. citizenship when registering to vote in federal elections. That means a person would need to present a qualifying citizenship document when registering. States would not be allowed to process a federal voter registration application without this documentation. The bill also directs states to identify and remove non-citizens from voter rolls and establishes enforcement mechanisms, including penalties tied to compliance. Supporters argue this ensures only citizens vote in federal elections. Opponents argue that non-citizen voting in federal elections is already illegal and rare, and that adding documentation requirements could unintentionally block eligible voters. So the debate isn't just about security, it's about access. One of the most discussed impacts is on married women and others who have changed their names. If someone's birth certificate lists a different name than their current legal name, they may need additional documentation to link the two. That creates extra steps. This could also affect divorced individuals, people who change their names by court order, transgender voters, anyone whose identification documents don't perfectly match. Even small administrative mismatches can create friction in the registration process. Access to citizenship documents isn't evenly distributed. Replacing a birth certificate or obtaining certain documents may require fees, travel, time off work, navigating state agencies. Research from past state-level proof-of-citizenship laws showed that access challenges can disproportionately affect communities with fewer financial resources or more administrative barriers. It's not about eligibility, it's about documentation access. Impact by socioeconomic class. This may be where the largest impact occurs. If registering to vote requires paying for document replacements, taking time off work, traveling to government offices, handling complex paperwork, then lower-income voters may face greater obstacles. Evidence from previous state policies found that thousands of eligible voters were blocked or delayed because they couldn't quickly produce required documents. Even minor hurdles can reduce registration completion rates. Younger voters and highly mobile voters, such as students or renters, could also be affected. When people move frequently, document access and record matching can become more complicated. Research from earlier state-level implementation found younger and unaffiliated voters were more likely to be caught up in documentation blocks. That matters in tight midterm races. What this could mean for 2026 midterms. If enacted, there are several potential effects. 1. Registration drop-off. Increased paperwork could reduce successful new registrations, especially among first-time voters and recent movers. 2. Legal challenges. If passed, the law would almost certainly face court challenges, which could create uncertainty close to an election cycle. 3. Administrative variation. States and counties may interpret documentation standards differently, leading to uneven application. 4. Political mobilization. The issue itself could energize both sides, supporters emphasizing election integrity, opponents emphasizing voter access. That debate alone could influence turnout, fundraising, and campaign messaging in 2026. In close House races, even small shifts in registration numbers can change outcomes. At its core, this isn't just a policy debate. It's a tension between two principles: ensuring election security, ensuring voter access. How Congress balances those priorities could shape not just the 2026 midterms, but the future of federal elections. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe for more policy deep dives on how federal legislation impacts everyday Americans. And let me know in the comments, do you think documentation requirements strengthen elections, or create unnecessary barriers. See you in the next video.